New York City has a rhythm, a pulse you feel in your bones as you walk its streets. On November 11th, 2025, that rhythm was alive, even as winter's chill crept in. People hurried home, cabs streaked by, and the city moved as it always does. The sky was gray, the air sharp, but it was just another night in the city that never sleeps. The weathermen predicted snow, just a few inches, nothing unusual. New Yorkers barely noticed. Storms come and go. The city carried on. Kids did homework, restaurants closed, subways rumbled. No one suspected what was coming. Around 8 p.m., the first flakes fell, gentle, almost shy. They danced in the streetlights, beautiful at first, but the flurries thickened, turning into a relentless curtain of white. The city's sounds faded, muffled by the snow. By midnight, the world outside was gone, replaced by a swirling vortex of white. Wind howled between buildings, snow piled against doors and fire escapes. The forecast was wrong. This wasn't a dusting, it was a siege. The city that never sleeps was forced into a deep, white slumber. The rhythm stopped. The beat was gone. All that remained was the wind and the silent, relentless fall of snow. New York was being buried, inch by inch. The city's energy, its noise, its movement, all erased by the storm. The night pressed on, the snow unyielding. People watched from their windows, powerless. The city was being transformed, its familiar face vanishing. The storm was just beginning. No one knew how deep the silence would go. The city's heart was still, waiting for morning, and the snow kept falling. The snow fell with purpose, heavy, wet, and unyielding. It clung to trees and statues, softening the city's sharp edges. The silence was deafening, the city's shape vanishing under the storm's weight. New Yorkers watched in disbelief as their world disappeared behind a wall of white. Phone lines buzzed. "Are you seeing this?" News anchors stared at satellite images. The storm was stalled, trapping the city. Subways above ground froze, trains stranded between stations. On the roads, chaos reigned. Cars slid, buses stuck, bridges closed. Airports had already shut down. New York, the world's hub, was being cut off, block by block. The snow kept coming, a relentless force. Alleyways filled with drifts, hydrants and signs vanished. The city was disappearing beneath a monolithic white blanket. Awe mixed with unease. This was history unfolding. Nature was in charge now. The snow wasn't just falling, it was consuming New York. The onslaught continued through the night, no end in sight. The city's lifelines were severed. The storm's grip tightened. New York was at the mercy of the elements. Dawn brought only a gray, luminous haze. No sunlight, just more snow. New Yorkers woke to a city unrecognizable, a landscape from another world. Cars were gone, buried under shapeless mounds. Streets vanished, replaced by a sea of white sculpted by wind. The silence was shocking. No traffic, no trucks, just the whisper of wind and snow. Many opened doors to a wall of white trapped inside. Snow reached doorknobs, even second floors in places. The city was a polar wilderness, its grid erased. For hours, people stared in disbelief. 5 feet of snow in one night. It shattered records, a storm for the ages. The city's power and pride were brought to their knees. Subways, buses, airports, silent and buried. The city's resilience was tested like never before. Central Park and the Brooklyn Bridge were breathtaking, frozen in time. Skyscrapers wore crowns of white, their tops lost in clouds. Beauty and crisis coexisted. New York was in a state of emergency. Millions stranded, the city facing a challenge it had never known. The storm's terrible beauty was undeniable, but survival was now the only goal. The numbers told the story. 60 inches in Central Park, over 2 billion tons of snow. It was the biggest storm in city history, dwarfing all records. The snow's weight strained roofs and awnings, a danger both abstract and real. Meteorologists called it a snow bomb, 6 inches an hour at its peak. No city could keep up. The water locked in the snow equaled several inches of rain. It was a freak event, a perfect storm that buried the city. Life stopped. Wall Street closed, Broadway dark, schools shut indefinitely. Power outages rippled, emergency services overwhelmed. The city was paralyzed, its economy frozen. Airports closed, supply chains, broken food and medicine delayed. New York became a black hole, drawing in resources but giving nothing back. The numbers painted a stark picture, a city under siege by nature. The challenge was survival, and then to dig out. The city's might was no match for the storm. The storm created stories everywhere. Office workers slept on floors, tourists watched Times Square go silent, commuters were rescued from stranded trains, neighbors dug paths for ambulances. Essential workers became heroes, walking miles to hospitals. Acts of kindness flourished, free coffee, rides, help for strangers. The storm stripped away anonymity. New Yorkers became a community, united by crisis. The fight to reclaim New York began before the snow stopped. Sanitation crews mobilized, but standard plows were overwhelmed. Heavy machinery, front-end loaders, dump trucks, snow melters were called in. The strategy: clear lifelines to hospitals and emergency services. Convoys of plows worked in tandem, carving out main avenues. The city roared with engines and scraping metal, the sound of resistance. Drivers worked around the clock, fueled by coffee and duty. Snow was piled into mounds, parks and lots became dumping grounds. Giant melters turned snow to water, flushed into sewers. It was a logistical ballet, a slow reconquest of the city. The sheer volume was staggering. Where to put it all? Block by block, the city began to re-emerge. The battle was long, but New York fought back. On side streets, the fight was personal. In Queens, Brooklyn, and Staten Island, neighbors realized help wasn't coming soon. They grabbed shovels, snowblowers, anything to dig out. Impromptu shovel brigades formed, strangers became teammates. Teenagers and retirees worked side by side. In the Bronx, residents checked on the elderly, brought groceries, cleared doorways. Bodega owners became lifelines, extending credit and comfort. The storm revealed New York's hidden spirit, community over isolation. The city was cut off from the world, but neighbors connected. A city is its people, and together they dug out. Even a 5-foot wall of snow couldn't keep them down. For nearly a week, New York was transformed. The usual roar was gone, replaced by a muffled peace. Streets were empty, air clean, the city's canyons silent. Children played in snow forts, skiers glided through Central Park. The storm forced a pause. People talked, read, played games. The city's relentless pace was stopped cold. For a moment, New Yorkers saw their home anew. The peace was temporary, but unforgettable. The city held its breath, savoring the stillness. Soon the noise would return, but the memory would linger. The snow siege was a disaster, but also a gift, a moment of magic. The city's heart beat quietly beneath the snow. And for those days, New York belonged to its people. After a week, the sun returned and the great melt began. Snow piles shrank, water trickled through the streets. Flooding threatened, but crews worked to keep drains clear. The city slowly revived. Streets cleared, subways ran, airports reopened. The rhythm returned, the beat picked up. People shared stories, the city bore scars but kept moving. The landscape was messy, but the city's spirit endured. Landmarks and neighborhoods re-emerged, vibrant as ever. New Yorkers had faced the storm with grit and humor. The snow siege became legend, a story for generations. It reminded everyone that New York, for all its might, is still part of nature. But the storm couldn't bury the city's heart. New Yorkers shoveled, shared, survived, proving no one is ever truly alone. The snow melted, but the memory and spirit remained. The city's enduring heart beat on, stronger than ever.